evening, and welcome back to another edition of the MyT Sports Podcast. I'm your host, the one and only Talento Taylor. Yo, this is another Fuego day in the hottest city in the world. We coming at you live and direct, straight from a stone's throw away from South Beach. I hope you guys are ready for a deep show today. This is Volume 8, Episode 2, Track 456 of the MyT Sports Podcast. And we got a lot of big topics for you to talk to today. Listen, apparently the Queen has died. We had the NFL season opener. We still gonna talk about Free and BG. Got 2K Day Judge Strikes Again, NFL picks, and a whole lot more for you guys today. But you know what we say here, regardless of the time and regardless of the weather, it is always a good time to talk some sports. So
you play to win the game.
Let's start talking. Woo! Back at it like a sports fanatic. MyT Sports. Whew. Hope you guys is ready for today's show. We got a good show for you guys today, man. As you guys see, I'm always here dolo by myself. You know what I mean? Holding it down, Triple Crown. Niggas be late. Yes, people be late. How you guys doing out here today? Man, so let's start off the podcast the way we like to start off all of our shows, right? And here did I have that on camera? Hopefully I didn't. I didn't mean to so early. I ain't trying to get things started off like that. Hold on, let's bring Instagram up in here. I forgot to get the people at Instagram. And don't you forget that you can catch us. You can catch us every Monday, every Wednesday, and every Friday live at 8:07-ish p.m. talking about sports, whether that's on YouTube, that's on Spotify, that's on Podbean. I said live, right? Whether that's on Spotify, whether that's on YouTube, that's on Twitch, that's on Facebook, that's on Twitter. You can catch us live wherever you listen to. Also, you can catch us on Podbean. And if you look at the link in the bio, you can call in through our Podbean app as well. That's where we take all of our call-ins. Did I say we trying to get the people on Instagram in here? Apparently they feeling a little left out. So let's make sure we get them in here as well. Folks, this is a big show. Let's go ahead and start the show for like do our little birthday party, folks. So for everybody that don't know how this works, what we like to do here is that we like to give a little birthday shout out to everybody that had a birthday since the last time that we were on the air. Now, if I don't got you as a Facebook friend, that's my cheat code. That's my actual cheat code. So if I have you as a Facebook friend, you can't expect me to remember anymore. I'm like, you understand? Like I got like 10, 12 birthdays locked away like in this head. And luckily for me, like for most of them, like I have multiple people with the same birthdays and they're all kind of close to me. So it works for me. But let's go ahead and get that birthday shout. Hey, yo, DJ MyT, play that beat. You like that? I like that because, yeah, it's your birthday. We said it's your birthday. Check it, yeah. Check it, yeah. Because it's your birthday. We sing happy birthday. Check it, yeah. Check it, yeah. All right, folks, we only got about 2 birthdays to give a shout out to. We got a birthday for yesterday, we got a birthday for today. So for our birthday people, yesterday, we're going to give a birthday shout out to our homegirl, Rose Renaud. Happy birthday to you, Rose. Listen, one of my party people from around the way, right? Also, for the birthday today, we would like to give a birthday shout out to JB Hatcher. JB Hatcher, I've had the pleasure of meeting and working with Platinum Pro Wrestling. I don't want to like cut off the birthday people. But I'm like, what's the next gig coming up? Listen, the voices rehabbed already. Like I'm ready to get my Becklin call on. You know what I mean? I want to get my rock on so I can go ahead and explode up a whole entire stadium. Let's get that done, right? But birthday shout outs. Happy birthday to Rose. Happy birthday to JB. Hope you party hard. Hope you enjoy everything. Hope you regret nothing. But more importantly, you continue to stay. It's that easy. It's that easy. Again, one last birthday song for you guys as we ride out. Because, yeah, it's your birthday. We said it's your birthday. 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 Because it's your birthday. We sing happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. guys, you guys enjoy. But let's get right into the podcast, right? I know the birthday celebrations. Everybody likes the birthday celebrations, right? But we can't party the whole entire time. Even though, right? Though I don't know how yous feel, right? But the way I feel, the podcast feels like a party, right? The podcast feels like its own little mini party the whole entire time. Yeah, thank you, DJ MyT, for cutting that beat for me. Right? Now, while we're partying, not everybody gets the opportunity to party. Let's talk about our MyT topic of the day. Something that we've held close to the chest for about the last 204 days, and that is the unwrongful incarceration of Brittany Griner. Is funny, right? I'm not gonna lie. And you know what? Maybe just maybe, there's a lot more people that feel this way, but this individual, and I know this person personally, this individual is the first person to actually say, you know what? Fuck that bitch, yo. Leave her where the fuck she's at. And I even get a chance to ask her, like, hey, yo, what she do to you? I'm curious. Because I know a lot of people when it comes to Brittany Griner. Ron knows who that is too. What's going on, Ronnie? I see you. Watching you, watching me, watching you, watching me. Oh, sweet Caroline. But. Jamaican version. What do we say? Carolina, the gal. Carolina is the gal to make you jump on prawns. Some prawns. Jump on prawns. I'm good, play. I'm good. I was, I'm gonna ask you in a second. Let me know in your comments. How was everybody's draft? That's what I want to know. You guys let me know how your draft was. We're gonna talk football, and we're gonna talk football in a minute. We're gonna talk about the fantasy football picks. Ronnie, I'm gonna put you in the group on Instagram. I can ask you about the one on WhatsApp. I'm gonna put you on the one on Instagram. You can't turn me down on that one. All right, but folks, yeah, we gonna get into our picks just a little bit later. So I hope you got your picks ready. All right, I want to know how your fantasy football draft went. Let me know in your comments. Drop that in the comments for me. Let me know how your fantasy draft went. Let me know how you feel about that game last night, because we're going to talk about last night's game in just a minute. Phone lines are open for everybody, right? They're open everywhere. For the people that got the personal backstage line, you call in there. For the people that got the podbean line, you call in there. For the people that are rude enough to call in through Instagram, I'm going to cuss you out. You call in there. Anywhere that you can call in at, you call in everywhere. Damn, Cam Akers. Damn it, Bobby. Right, but again, let's just get out. Sorry, you know I have to take some time, just a little bit of time, right? And make sure that we talk about the freeing of Brittany Griner. It's been 204 days since Brittany Griner has been wrongfully incarcerated for what happened to be what is it? Weed residue. When it means to be roughly detained for about 6 months. I don't know how you feel, how you guys know how it feels just to be in a remote location for like 6 months, kind of unable to do anything that normal human they did her. They told her, you know what? You can coach if you want to, but you can coach our team up. Like, that's how much they also know that she's a badass player. They're like, we don't want to put all of that talent to waste. If you want, you can come coach our team and help us do better. See if you can help us beat the Americans. But I'm going for a plea deal. If I help you beat the Americans, you got to free me. And then I'm calling all my American friends and telling them to take the L. But what I find ironic, though, right, before we fully switch off this topic, what I do find ironic is that while there's a ton of players that feel bad about for Brittany Griner, and while a ton of players are shitting on Russia for wrongfully detaining her, there's still a hell of a lot of players going over to play in those Russian leagues. Now, granted, this goes to show you, and listen, they're human too, right? I'm not going to put humanity past anybody at times, regardless of what stature you're in. Humanity still comes into play. And the reality in their world, Russia is where the majority of their money is at, or where a good portion of their money is made. They don't make enough money in the United States to be able to sustain a lifestyle of a professional athlete. It's kind of like the NBA in the 80s. So they're about, what are we saying? They're about 40 years behind. It could be sped up a little bit pretty soon. Money's coming in flux. But players are still playing in Russia. And if you really felt some type of way and wanted to make a power move and really express how you feel in a way that may really affect Russia or get Russia's attention, maybe, is you guys hold out and you guys stop and you say, you know what, we're not going to play in Russia anymore. Fuck you, Russia. Like, we're not playing anymore. Like, you could take your league and you can shove it up your ass. But nah, they said, hey, Russia, we don't like what you're doing to our girl, but we like that money that you give us. So while we're over there, we ain't gonna talk. And it makes me wonder too, right? It makes me wonder, right? And I have to do research. How many of the players that are going over to play in Russia have been outspoken about the Brittany Griner situation? How many of them? Or are these the same play? Or the players that are going now, have these been the ones that have been ironically quiet for some odd reason that you couldn't quite explain? And you wonder, like, damn, how come I ain't heard anything from this player? How come I ain't heard anything about that player? Because if you are one of those players that has been outspoken, very vocal about Brittany Griner's situation in Russia, I would warn you about going over there. Because you just may give them another hostage. So any NBA player that's going over there, I'm telling you right now, not only do you need to be safe as possible, right? But you need to be as cautious as possible. Take extra precaution. Make sure you're not bringing the slightest thing that they may consider contraband or illegal or offensive to their country, way of life, culture, coming or going. Because you never know. You're not going to a place that's like the United States. You're going to a communist country. There's a one-man rule. They can shut down media. They can shut down communications. He can shut down anything he wants at any point in time. You don't have to worry about all these other by rules. No, we're talking about dictatorship at its best. Communism. And now remember, communism works for some people. So some people feel well in communism. Some people don't. But we see what they're doing to Brittany Griner. And we keep trying to, we have the habit of trying to compare how she should be treated there based off of how things would play here naturally. No, it's the complete opposite, complete 180. It's the reason why we've been having this silent beef with Russia now for the last, 100 years? God damn. let's move off of this one, right? Again, let's just hope Brittany Griner, right, gets home safe and as quickly as possible. But you players out, I'm gonna look out for you. Let me stop. Let me get out of this topic. Let me get fully off of this topic. Right. Let's get into a little bit of football, right? Let's get right into a little bit of football. And let's get into last night's game more than anything else. Last night's game, it was a doozy. Like I don't know about the rest of you. Last night's game, and I'm curious, right? I'm curious how you guys feel, right? You start commenting, let me know, hit me up in the comments. How did you guys feel about last night's game? Like, I thought it was an exciting game. Some people don't see excitement in a 31-10 game. So you guys start letting me know. Because from the very beginning, to me, and listen, I will start running into all your comments. To me, the game, from the very beginning, The Rock came out, The Rock did his thing, right? The Rock, he opened up the show, and this time, and you know what? And I see my boy Ronnie actually saying something I'm gonna bring up a little bit later in this topic. But you're right about what you're saying at SBH, right? The Rock starts off the game. Like, basically, the way they won their Super Bowl is the way they started off the season, with The Rock coming out announcing the team. The Rock decided this time I can't wear a shirt with sleeves on it because they're having a heat wave in California. I'm going straight wife beater, and I guarantee you, if the Rock could have came out shirtless, he would have. And to be honest with you, I don't see why The Rock didn't come out shirtless. Like, no homo, pause. Like, I'm thinking about for the female viewers here, right? And also, not to mention, like, there's a group of musclehead guys that admire The Rock's physique, right? So The Rock is just one of those specimens that I think men and women enjoy looking at. So I'm actually surprised that they didn't take the advantage and bring The Rock out topless. Like, especially how hot it was. Like do a WWE style. Bring him out topless, squirt him with some baby oil, lather him up, make him look all shiny and shit, and have him come out and do his thing. I guarantee you. Like, you heard a lot of right? When Rock came out, those were all guys. Can you imagine how many and there's random panties being thrown on the stage? Do they still throw panties on the stage? I'm just saying. I'm just trying to talk about what's good for. I see you guys. I see a lot of pauses coming along here, right? I see the pauses coming in, but I'm just talking about what's good for TV. I'm just talking about what's good for TV. They should have laughed at The Rock up and have him come out and then do his thug thizzle, like his old wrestling days. Like, they should have took advantage of it. They missed the golden moment. He over there just sweating. If he said two words, just like, they could have took advantage of that. But I thought it was an exciting game. And I don't know if it was exciting because of the gameplay, or it was exciting based off the anticipation. Because we know it takes forever the football to come back to us. Like, this is September. We're talking about the first week of football. We'll be done with this by what, January? February? We're talking about 5 months. And it's going for another 7. That's more than half the year. So I wonder how much of it was actually playing anticipation. And maybe it was just the perfect concoction, the perfect mixture. Like the NFL, when it comes to content, as much as I hate them, right? As a league, when it comes to content, they have one of the best mixologists in the game. And they found that perfect mixture between play and anticipation. And they gave us a match that was Super Bowl winners LA Rams and the Buffalo Bills, not only a team that most people think are the favorites to win this year, they're a team that most people thought should have made it last year. If it wasn't for what happened in the last 13 seconds of that game, they feel like, yo, the Buffalo Bills could have been right there facing the Rams and possibly even beat them. And based on what we saw last night, it's not a foregone conclusion. They may have been able to beat them. Not may have. The fact that you no longer have Von Miller and Aaron Donald on the same line anymore, that's big. That's bigger than what most people are willing to give credit to. Like you understand, Aaron Donald was already the most double-teamed person on defense. Now imagine how much cheating over now you can do on him. How much now more attacking you can, overwhelming you could do on him. Or just period, how you can overflood his side knowing that you don't have Von Miller coming anywhere anymore. Buffalo Bills went straight at him. They went straight at Aaron. Like this was a good game. And the thing about it, it starts off, right? I'm gonna give you the bad first, right? Or maybe the ugly. Josh Allen throws 2 interceptions in this game. He throws 1 in the first half, right? They give the ball to the rookie Cook, right? To the rook Cook, and he fumbles on his first career carry. Cook, come on, Cook. He's on my fantasy team. I'm so glad I didn't start his bum ass. I take that back. I'm sorry I didn't start you in that one game. Like it just wasn't your night. I think he ended the game with only like 2 carries, -2 points in fantasy. Basura, B. Straight basura. But that's the worst it got for Josh Allen. Were 2 interceptions. One in the first half, 1 early in the second half, and that 1 fumble. And that 1 interception and that 1 fumble were the only ways that the Rams stopped the Bills in that first half. The Bills were having their way with them like instant grits. You understand? We're talking about apple pie having their way with. And then the interception comes. And I was happy because I had the LA Rams defense. You know what I mean? And I'm like, you know what? This game can't go any better. If the Rams could keep on forcing turnovers, right? And Josh Allen just keeps on putting up points. Listen, early on you can see that they wasn't going to win this game. Like even as the game is tied 10-10 at the half. Like you can see it. The only thing that gave them life, the Rams' life, was that they got those 2 turnovers. And granted, for a team that is big on their defense, turnovers matter because then you want to give your quarterback a short field. And they took advantage of that. They put up 10 points off of that. But in that second half, like they must have went in there and gotten themselves some straight demon soul food because they came out there like some straight clowns. They looked the Rams straight in the face and asked them, "Have you ever danced with the devil in the heat of the night?" And they was like, "What? Nobody even knows what it means." And they were like, "Yeah, dude, that shit is provocative." You understand? And then they went forward and they gave them a complete exorcism. Whatever juice they were hyped up, whatever little bit of pumped up juice they were hyped up on in the first half, completely fizzled out. A shutout, 21 straight points. And can we give a let's give a MyT bomb real quick from Gabe Davis. As the LA Rams started off their season the way that they ended last season, so did the Buffalo Bills with Gabe Davis starting off this season the way he ended last season. That was being the first person to score. Or just scoring points as well. Now we had the trifecta of scores, right? We had Gabe Davis put up the first points of the season. That is, you had Josh Allen rush for a touchdown. You had Josh Allen also throw to a touchdown. And can you guys guess who he threw that one touchdown to that wasn't to Gabe Davis? Yes. You already know who it is. The Step Brothers. Like, did we just become best friends? Oh, yes, they did. And they're hooking up again and again and again. They hooked up. They hooked up. What was it? 15 times? 8 times. It wasn't 15 attempts. Maybe it was 12 attempts. 8 times. Oh, I know where the 15 came from. Never mind. 8 times, 122 yards. 15 yards per attempt and a touchdown. To his own numero uno, his ace, his what was that old saying? His un boom coon? His ace boom coon. Sorry. And for the people that have Stefon Diggs again in fantasy, be happy with yourself. Be happy with yourself. Got Josh Allen too. Be happy with yourself. You're gonna have another phenomenal season. It's my phenomenal season. Josh Allen, 26 for 31, 297 yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Stefon Diggs, 8 receptions, 122 yards, and a touchdown. And Buffalo Bills, they had good energy from start to finish, right? Yeah, they didn't let their I don't say they didn't let their foot off the brakes. Their defense was stifling more than anything else. That defense was stifling. Again, it could be that Von Miller effect. Because what's Von Miller going for? His 3rd ring now, possibly? Does he have 2 or 3 rings? He has one with Denver, now one with the Rams, and he's looking for one with Buffalo. And if Von Miller could win one with Buffalo, I know Von Miller's already set to go in the Hall of Fame. We're going to have to put a little bit more respect on Von Miller's name. And I'm not saying that Von Miller's name don't get respect. Right? I'm not saying that Von Miller's name don't get respect. I'm just saying we're going to have to look at him in a different kind of light. You know what I mean? Like, as being just one of those game-changing kind of guys. He could be like a Robert Ory or a Deion Sanders. You know, like the team that he goes to win Super Bowls. And it's gonna be weird because I feel like there's a short period, and we know Von Miller has been dominant for years, right? Dominant for years. I feel like the last couple of years we may have forgotten about him. You know what I mean? Nowadays everybody want to talk like they got something to say, but nothing comes out. But they move their lips and everybody act like they forgot about Von, right? It happens. And I feel like we forgot about Von Miller a little bit. We started putting Von Miller in that. And that, oh, we're about to put him in. Let's put him in the pasture, right? It's time to put him in the sleep. Let's take him in the back of the barn and give him that long kiss goodnight. The Von Miller is showing, like, you know what? I may not be able to be the and you know, but that's what happens when you get older. Upper, like we're talking about upper echelons of their position players. That when they now lose a step or two, when they no longer be the full anchor, when they're a number 2 guy, they're a hell of a number 2 still. Because goddamn, it feels like they still have everything that they had, but they're just going up against slightly lesser talent, or they're not getting that double team anymore, or that brain functions differently now. And when he sees you cheat now because you're going after, speaking of his old situation, when you're going after an Aaron Donald, right, he's able to recognize how you're leaning, get past, see the crease, and next thing you know, pressure. Now, for the Buffalo Bills, right, and here's what you talked about earlier, Ronnie. For the Buffalo Bills, this is a great game for them. I almost feel like this is almost like a must-win game for the Buffalo. not must win, I must perform good game for the Buffalo Bills. Like the Buffalo Bills couldn't have been the ones that ended this game with only 10 points. Right? It couldn't have been them. Even if it's a Super Bowl champion, you're going to a hot climate, you're on the road, they couldn't have been the team to have the bad game. So having a good performance matters to them. And winning this game right now. Now how much would they have been phased by a loss? I'm not saying they would have been phased by a loss. By a loss so much given all those factors. What I'm saying is that they can be supercharged by a win. See, I'm not so much giving a lot of clout to what would happen if they would have lost. They would have had a short-term memory come out and be like, you know what, it's the opening game. And they would have charged for the rest of the season. But you don't want them to have a bad performance because you know how that media would have, how the media would have picked it up, how it would have been talked about. The team that is one of these Super Bowl favorites having a horrible performance on the season opener. It wouldn't have started off well. It would have taken at least week 2, week 3, and week 4 of a W for them to forget about the L in week 1. Exactly, the media would have dogged them. For the Rams, though, the Rams is a little bit different. The Rams get to say, we have SBH. And not irritable bowel syndrome, right? For you guys that can't spell out there. Right? But we have a Super Bowl hangover. They can honestly say that. Not just be... And do you understand? I like how they call it a championship hangover. What a championship hangover means is that you just ain't sacrificing enough anymore to try to win games. You ain't as locked in as anymore to try to win games. You stop caring as much to try to win games. That's what a hangover means. But hopefully, it's for one game and one game only. Hopefully, it's not something that lingers for multiple games for the Rams. That's why they call it a hangover. Because you take your shot of tomato juice or you start drinking again. You know what I mean? And next thing you know, the hangover goes away. And you're back on cloud 9. And now you're feeling all drunk off of wins again. So the Rams can play hangover and possibly get away with it. But a 31-10 loss is not going to be easily forgotten. Especially and I really do mean this. Especially, hold on, we got a comment from Ronnie. He always said the Rams should be ready for the next game. Oh yeah, listen, like I said, we don't expect this to linger. Like if this lingers, that's the bad part, right? If this loss lingers for the Rams, that's when things become problematic. I don't see this lingering, and I don't think that most people could see this going linger. I said that's the whole thing of the hangover, right? But regardless of what happens for the Rams the rest of the season, regardless of what happens with the Bills for the rest of the season, this is going to be... Where are you at? This is going to be one of those games that, regardless, right, of what happens next, what's going on here? What happened? This will 100% be remembered for the stiff arm heard around the world. Like, it doesn't matter what else happens, right? This game was 100% the stiff arm heard around the world. In case you missed it, Josh Allen is going for a rush, right? He's gaining some yards. He's getting ready to get tackled. And what does he do? What you should do as a runner, right? He goes in and he puts that little wing out there. He puts that arm out there. And he flings this little DB. And I say this little DB because, listen, this is a pivotal, no, definitely pivotal. And we said that he flings the DB because he went flying. And you know, as defenders, they always are dying and hoping to get a nice clean shot on the quarterback. But not on this one. In this game, this quarterback that is built like a linebacker had a nice clean shot on his two light in the pants that DB. And like I said, and this will forever be remembered as the stiff arm heard around the world. And do. That little blue pill has the same ingredients as Viagra and Cialis. So this is one opportunity that you just can't miss. For a very low cost, you can beat it up like a boss. And she's going to love it. You can get your first order of Blue Chew for free. Yes, folks, for free. Good from the good folks at MyT. The only thing you gotta do is pay shipping and handling. Make sure you pay your postal workers, man. Don't be stingy. Rain, snow, steal, hand. They helping you stay hard. You know what I mean? Go hard or die hard trying. Isn't that how that goes? Like we get hard or die trying. Hey, listen. That's what every man's inner motto is. Like no man ever wants to stop. Squeak 'em, squeak 'em, squeak 'em, squeak 'em, squeak, squeak, squeak 'em, squeak, squeak, squeak 'em. So we're gonna try to get hard or die trying. But Blue Chew, you chew it and you do it. That's the only two directions. You chew it and then you do it. That's it. All right, let's get back into the show. So, just the last time that we were on the air, we happened to have a tragic event that hit us. In case you guys have not heard, Dana White canceled the whole press conference. 96. I said 92. Like Dana White, he ended up canceling the whole weigh-in. And while a good portion of Europe is mourning, right? There's a good portion of India that may be like, finally tired of you coming. We tired of the fact that you was in our country. You know what I mean? Like you never know. You never know. All of America was over here. Football. We're watching football. Football. Listen, at 8:19, we were talking about the Queen. At 8:20, we were talking about you ready for some football? Football. We go with football. Football. Like seriously. Listen, she definitely lived a long time. And she had a nice full life. She will be missed by a lot. And hope the family is able to move on and continue their life. As we're about to continue this podcast as well, right? So, as you guys may have heard, 1926. She's been alive as long as America been having a Cold War of Russia. The whole entire time. She witnessed the whole entire thing. So to continue to move on, right? To continue to keep marching forward. This is NBA 2K Day. I don't know if you guys know. I don't know. Yes, folks. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Sound. Ring the alarm. And now the world is turning. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Listen, she was, as I see, said somebody said there was some rough times for black folks. It was definitely some rough times for black folks in 1926. And the queen was right in the middle of it. That's probably why she didn't like her son marrying a black chick. I'm not even talking about Atlanta right now. We're gonna leave them alone. All right. Because listen, because NBA 2K, this is NBA 2K Day. This is NBA 2K Day for all you guys out there. It's NBA 2K Day, and we're not even gonna talk about who you're talking about over there, Ronnie. I'm sorry, because he's not the guy that's on the cover of NBA 2K. The person on the cover of NBA 2K.
Yo, you thought Trae Young was still good, bro? Fuck Trae Young! Fuck Trae Young! Fuck Trae Young! Fuck Trae Young!
It is not Trae Young, but it's Devin Booker. We have Devin Booker in the Suncoast version of the cover, but also on top of that, there's also a Dreamville cover that has J. Cole on there, but also we have Michael Jordan making his 4th NBA 2K cover. The only athlete to be blessed with the cover 4 different times. I think he finally beat out Allen Iverson, who had 3, if I'm not mistaken. And that's because Allen Iverson was the first 2 cover athletes for NBA 2K. Now, not for nothing. I understand they dropped a 4th Jordan, but if they were gonna make somebody the most of to have the most covers in NBA 2K history, they should have gave it to Allen Iverson. They should have dropped Allen. We haven't had a they've done a lot of modern day legends, right? We had a Kobe one, we had a Jordan one, we had a Dirk Nowitzki one, if I'm not mistaken. Modern day legends. Who else did they have recently? They had Magic. They did Bird. Modern day legends. I'm trying to think if they did Shaq. I think they did Shaq one year too. Did they do Shaq? In the early, not mine. They haven't done it modernly. Like in the last 10, 15 years or so is what I'm talking about. They've done Jordan, like Jordan's 4 appearances in the last 4 is in the last 20 years. Last 15 years. They should bring back an Allen Iverson one. If you recognize Allen Iverson so much that he has his own statue in the game, and granted, he's the only player to have a statue in the game because of how much they feel indebted to him because of the fact that he was the cover athlete for those first coming years to really help sell the game. He should have been the first player to drop to be on the cover 4 times. I'm just saying. Now, I'm like poo-pooing on them. No. Go buy yourself some 2K stock. TTWO, Take Two Interactives. You can buy partial shares now through most platforms. Go get yourself some shares. They ain't going anywhere. You seen 2K just recently signed the WWE contract, and then they recently just dropped 2K Golf, and then they put Tiger Woods on this motherfucker again. 2K ain't going nowhere. You think 2K is just basketball? They run these streets of sports. Wait till they get that football contract back. Player. I don't even care about the football contract. They got every other one on lock. EA Sports is struggling. So back up me from them struggling. Just get on your knees and then start juggling. So now, like I said, if you're a 2K fan, NBA 2K drops today. And I believe today's the early release pack, right? So in this early release pack that you get the Jordan storyline with, you also get 100,000 in VC. I don't really care about that so much. right? But you get 100,000 points in VC. It's one of my favorite songs. I want to sing that for Ain't No Fun. I want to sing that for karaoke one day. You get 100,000 in VC. You get 10,000 in my team points. You get Devin Booker and Michael Jordan as a Ruby card for my team. You get 23 MyT promo packs. You get 10 boost per style in your My Player. You get 4 Gatorades. Now, the 3 things that I really wanted, right? And I'm gonna give them to them in order. Number 3. I wanted the skateboard, the customized skateboard that they give away as well, and backpack. I wanted that. But you kind of always get that. So that's why it's number 3. Number 2. I wanted, they give away a go-kart. A glow-in-the-dark go-kart or whatever the hell it is, and I want that goddamn go-kart. I busted my ass all last season, all last year in 2K to try to get one of these items, and I could not. Don't worry, I'm gonna be a problem this year. You guys just wait. I got my 2K style, and then I got my mojo. I'm not even trying to get into the league. Don't forget, you guys, to like and share. Don't forget to like and share. Don't forget to like and share the podcast, folks. Don't forget to like, share. If you're listening right now, go ahead and take the time out and share the podcast. Please do me that favor. Take the time out and share the podcast. Share it with your friends if you like what you're hearing. Share it with your family if you like what you're hearing. Share it with your enemies if you like what you're hearing. Let them see what they're missing. But the number one thing I wanted, number 1, they are giving away, because obviously you guys realize by now, I bought the multi-pack. I bought the jumbo pack. I bought the early pack. I'm trying to put the city on my backpack, right? You also get a 1-year subscription to NBA League Pass. A 1-year subscription to NBA League Pass. Now tell me that's not dope. Tell me that I forgot to bring in spaces. You spaces people. But tell me that's not dope. That not only are they giving away, like I said, and granted, this one costs more than normal, because I think the normal game costs about $69.99. Right? Most jumbo packs cost $99.99, right? Well, I bought the $139.99 one, which is still saving money on buying a whole year of an NBA League Pass. Like, I'm still like, to get the game, like if you were just talking about to get the game and the League Pass, right? Or if I got the League Pass itself and they were giving away the game for free, I still save half the money. Not half the money. I'm saving half the money on the League Pass. That's what I'm saying. For paying what I'm paying right now, I'm still saving half my money on the League Pass. League Pass is like $50 a month? $40 a month? For what, 8 months? $320. Easy. So I get my favorite video game, and I get a whole year of NBA that I don't have to worry about. Oh, can I find? And also, I'd rather give NBA League Pass my money than the new NFL Plus. Have you guys seen this NFL? Man, I didn't want to talk football yet, but have you guys seen this NFL Plus package prices? $4.99, $9.99, $4.99 to watch and listen to everything your team. And get all the primetime games. All the primetime games. So I'm talking about all Thursday, all Sunday, all Mondays. On $9.99 to catch all the games. You know how many people are about to sign up for this? Just imagine. The first 9 people, the first million people that sign up, they made $10 million. The first 5 million people to sign up, they made $50 million. And I say that because the players get none of it. They get no streaming money. Yeah. And that's per month. Just think about that. 5 million people sign up. That's $50 million per month. that they're making. By the end of the season, we're talking about $250 million at the low ball, right? That they've gotten now into what should be the the collective bargained profit sharing pool. But no, the players didn't agree to get any of the streaming money. So all of this they about to get is $250 million. This is going straight into the owners' pockets. They just found their way to get themselves like easily, each of them, like a few more $1 million. They throw a couple of that back into the facility, give you guys a couple more hot dogs in the stands, make sure you get free Wi-Fi, and the rest is theirs. Maintenance on a stadium. I'm just saying, they don't have to share. I don't want to get into this, man. I don't want to get into this too far. Right? I really don't. Let's change the topic because we're gonna get into football real soon. We're just about coming up to 9:30. You guys know what's about to happen soon. We're coming to the last hour of the podcast, which means that we're going to be doing our football picks. We're going to talk heavier football for the rest of the season. For the rest of the week. I don't know why I feel like I'm saying it weird. I'm not even drunky. Right, but for the rest of week 1, maybe that's why I sound like it's coming off weird. So you guys stay tuned. Don't go anywhere. Our football picks is coming up pretty soon. But before we get into our football picks, right? We want to give you guys an Aaron Judge update. Yes, folks. As you we give you a Brittany Griner update, right? We give you a Roman Reigns update. Whereas Roman Reigns is on day. We'll figure that one out. But no, Roman Reigns is on day 738. And Aaron Judge has not changed since our last time that we talked about it on Wednesday. He is still on 55 home runs. Now, I looked this up because we were curious. We were talking about this the other day, and I wasn't quite sure how many games were left in the season. Well, guess what? There's about 40 to 50 games left in the season. We're on game 120 something, if I'm not mistaken. And there's 160 games in the season. 60 plus. I'm rounding. Aaron Judge, only thing Aaron Judge has to do is hit a home run every other day from this point on. And not Knicks fans, Yankees fans. You kind of want that coming into the going into the playoffs. You kind of want the Yankees were playing their best ball in the beginning of the season. They had a massive lull recently. Well, let's hope they get back those bats they had at the beginning of the season at the end of the season. And if that's the case, what you're looking forward to is Aaron Judge hitting a home run every other day. Now, you heard me say this on Wednesday. Maybe you didn't. Maybe you did. I'll say this again every day until the whole entire world hears me say this. I want Aaron Judge to break the actual home run record. Because I think when he does that, it will bring excitement back into the sport that has been missing for about 2 decades. Because when he does it, it will be now in everybody's mind and everybody's consciousness that an average human being can do these things. I don't have to be hocked up on gummy berry juice. I don't got to be hocked up on Miami's nightlife stay bright machine. You understand? I don't have to be hocked up on it's not a tumor. You don't have to do that. They're going to realize that this can be done by now. Granted, Aaron Judge ain't just a normal human being. He's a superhuman human being, even by superhuman human being standards, right? But he's still a normal human being that isn't hopped up on anything, which means that these guys will now have it in their mind again. Not just people playing now, people coming up again for generations. They will have it in their mind again. if I work hard enough, if I train hard enough, if I am focused enough, if I do the right things, I can break that record. I don't just want Aaron Judge to break this because I'm a Yankees fan. That is 82% of the reason. The other 18% is because I want the rest of the world to think that this is something that's attainable. More like the other 55% of me wants them to feel that. Because I want baseball to be fun again for just the average person. I want one, because you see, nobody's really talking about Aaron Judge's home runs, but I guarantee you, let him get to 70. And that buzz that happened in the 90s is gonna happen again. And let him break 70. And you start hearing how the birds start chirping. Everybody's whispering. Streets not only talking, but streets won't really be watching, but they'll be talking now. You understand? Be like a Thriller in Manila. You understand? Well, speaking of a Thriller in Manila, folks, we have a thrill going on in our local community coming up real soon. What am I talking about, folks? Like I said, just like how Aaron Judge can't miss, well, this is actually something else that you can't miss as well. On October 21st, going down at the Coral I'll be there. Single Wednesday at Sharky's. You will have an opportunity to buy yourself raffle tickets. Where my I didn't bring out the raffle tickets. Hold on, you stay right there. You stay right there. Hold on. Where the hell I put those damn tickets at? Here we go. There we go. All right. Here we go. Bam. Tickets. Raffle. Booyakasha. Out of mercy. But every Wednesday we're gonna have a raffle. Right? $1 per ticket. Not asking for much. $1 per ticket. You get the opportunity. You get your ticket. Now, the only way to get a ticket is to be at Sharky's. But I will announce the winner on the air here. So you're gonna make sure you're gonna want to put your contact information on the back of this little ticket, whether it's a phone number or your IG or your IG or whatever it is. And I will pick the winner. You don't have to be there in live, even though I would love for you to be there in live. I want to see that look on your face. But we will contact you and we will coordinate on getting your ticket. Most likely, I'm just gonna have you come down to Sharky's and pick up your ticket on another Wednesday while I'm there. You got your ticket at Wednesdays. I mean, on a Wednesday at Sharky's. You can pick it up on a Wednesday at Sharky's. So I'll probably be doing it the last. I'll do the tickets the week before. So what's it, the 21st? I said I'm doing it on the 10th. Is that 10 days before? Yeah, we're doing it on 10/10, I believe. Let's take a look at this calendar. Hold on. Let's see what day that is. We will be calling the winners on the 12th. Okay, so we'll be calling the winners on October 12th, and on October 19th, meet us at Sharky's if I don't know you personally, and you can come get your tickets then. Actually, on anything, I'll contact you and I'll transfer the tickets over to you because most I believe these are digital tickets anyway. So like I said, I'm probably gonna get your phone number, email address, or your IG, either one of the three. And we'll work it out after that. But folks, get your tickets, folks. Get your tickets. This is an event that you're not gonna want to miss. I'll tell listen, guys, fellas, it's an all women's event. We're talking about in art we lust. I don't think I have to say more to entice those synapses in the brain that's firing off your imagination, kind of think what's good. But seriously, and ladies, come on and show your ladies some support. Like, don't hate. Like, come out there and show your fellow women some support. Get some ideas. Support your local community. I'm gonna come out there with some kind of art. I'm telling you that right now. Whether it's something I can hang on the wall or something with body paint on it, I'm coming out there with some kind of art. Thank you, guys. Alrighty, let's continue to march forward and let's get into our football picks, folks. So this is Friday, which means this is the last day. This is the last day for us. That is. All right, to start getting these picks in before the game start. But before we, no, I was gonna take a little mini break before we do that, but we'll take a break halfway through, right? Let's start getting right in. Let's start getting right into these picks, all right? Who just hopped on here? B. Oh wait, shit, my bad. I was like, I thought somebody popped on. No wonder you like sorry, B. You over here fucking shit up. So we have week 1 of the NFL, folks. We just saw the first game, Buffalo Bills versus the LA Rams, right? Super Bowl champion LA Rams. They end up losing to the Super Bowl favorites in the Buffalo Bills. But folks, that's only 1 out of 16 games that we are going to be witnessing this week. So, without any further ado, let's get into this first game and start making our picks. Week 1, game 1. We have the New Orleans Saints taking on the Atlanta Falcons. I don't think I'm gonna have to. You know what? I'm gonna go. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna treat this as the first time you guys ever heard me do a podcast. Cause I was about to say, you know what? I don't think I even have to explain myself. I was gonna end up explaining myself anyway. I think you guys know exactly who I'm picking here. I think you guys exactly know where I'm going on this one. I don't pick, even though Matt Ryan is damn it. He's in Indiana now. And I like some stuff about Indiana. But what we have here is Atlanta versus New Orleans, right? We're keeping it in conference, in division, right? Now, I'm gonna let you know right now. I'm gonna take Jameis Winston, famous Jameis Winston, the goose that laid the golden content. I miss Jameis, man. I ain't gonna lie. Like Jameis Winston, I miss him. Saw an interview by him recently. He's over here talking about I'm just working on my body, man. Like, like I'm just working on all my joints. Like I'm working on my wrist. What I realize is I'm working on my wrist. I need to work on my ankles because what's the wrist joint for the feet? Your ankles. And he's like, and then I'm working on my elbows. So what's the elbow joint? Or what's the elbow joint for your lower half? That's your knees. So I'm working on my elbows and I'm working on my knees. And I was like, and I'm working on my hips and I'm working on my this. And I'm like, yo, this guy. I'm like, Jameis Winston is officially high as fuck. Like Jameis Winston is officially doing hot yoga in a room full of weed. Seriously. Like they're dropping weed nuggets in that steam and they're letting that whole entire thing go into the place and Jameis Winston is doing his yoga in there. On his little hyperbolic chamber that he uses for relaxation, he is having them pump weed smoking it, because that was the highest shit I've ever heard. And you're talking from somebody that gets pretty darn high. But you know what though? I'd rather as high as Jameis Winston must sign. That doesn't mean that he's feeling good about himself and he's feeling high on life. And you know, when you're feeling high on life, like that, can nobody take you down? They can't break your soul. No, they can't break your soul. They can't break your soul. So I'm picking that team from New Orleans. What's going on, Dose? I haven't seen you in a while. Welcome to the podcast. See my podbean family popping up in the building. Ronnie, give me your picks, Ronnie. What do you got? I know you listening, Ronnie. How much time we got left on Podbean? We got plenty of time left on Podbean. All right, I will get you, and I'll make sure I get your picks in here. Yeah, because listen, I have a way to make sure I get everybody's picks this time. There's no loss, there's no sophistication. Listen, I ain't gonna lie, I had to learn that there's a lot of shit I really don't need to be typing up anymore. Like, I do a lot of typing. Your picks right now. Who you got between New Orleans and Atlanta? You got the Saints. Oh yeah, that's exactly what I got too. Listen, man, it's something about one is Atlanta, right? I don't think most people have faith in Atlanta right now. And they lost their they lost Matt Ryan. they lost Matt Ryan. But also, right, they have a quarterback that I don't know if everybody's quite believing in. They have a tight end that's pretty badass, and they have a receiving core, period, that's top notch. We've seen Matt Ryan be super successful, ridiculously successful with that throughout the years. But also New Orleans just a little bit more. They feel like New Orleans has a little bit more experience. You have Jameis Winston out there. Hopefully his eyes are fixed. Mike Thomas comes back. You can't guard Mike. But New Orleans no longer has Sean Payton. And I wonder how much not having Sean Payton anymore is going to affect this team. We're going to see. You talking about their you got Pitts bench I see here. They still got a hell of a defense. That they do. But coaching also matters. So I'm gonna be tight like anybody else to see. Okay. Let me also say here, right? As I said, I'm gonna be tied into this game. I'm gonna be tied into a lot of games. The NFL really did a good job of having a lot of games with intrigue, right? They really got the good storylines out. Right, we started with Buffalo versus the LA Rams. Now we get a conference rivalry, right? A division rivalry between Atlanta and New Orleans. And we have this a lot. Right? Like we have this a lot. Who's Atlanta? I don't even know who's Atlanta's coach right now, to be honest with you. I would have to look that up. I don't have that on the top of my mind. But that's probably more of a rhetoric question. Like, see, that's what. I knew that's exactly what I was going. Like, as we're talking about who's New Orleans coach, like, who's Atlanta's coach? That's a good question. That really is a good question. We'll see how they do. That's gonna be one of those games. I'm gonna be watching because I want to see how Jameis Winston does more than anything else. I want to see how this New Orleans team looks without Sean Payton, but also. Atlanta's is always kind of make you curious, right? But not too curious because
Yo, you thought that young was still good, bro?
we don't want Atlanta getting too high on their high horse. Next game up, we got San Francisco going into Chicago to take on the Bears. I think I'm gonna go another away team here, and I'm gonna go San Francisco. This game to me doesn't have any particular intrigue except for there's a pair of young quarterbacks here that you're gonna be curious to see what they do. Like I said, like the storylines early are good because the thing about like most sports, especially the NFL, if you're not watching to see how the veteran quarterbacks are still looking, You're watching to see how the young quarterbacks are shaping up, especially the ones that are supposed to have good potential. And there's supposed to be some potential coming out of these two quarterbacks. Hopefully. Chicago really struggled last year. But also I feel like a lot of Chicago struggles were Chicago's fault. Like they couldn't get out their own way. Like they had two left feet of coaching. Like whoever was coaching, they were doing franchise malpractice. So I'm gonna go San Francisco here. You got Deebo Samuel's back. Oh, we got Dose calling up. What's going on, Dose? Welcome to the Mighty Sports Podcast. Did we get you on? Did they accept you?
What's up, dude?
What's going on, Dose?
Not much. How's it going?
I'm good.
Yeah, I got Debo on my fantasy team, and I got him starting. But I worry about these quarterbacks too.
Well, you know what? You should.
What I mean?
I know, but you know, though, I don't mind Deebo. While I worry about the quarterbacks, Deebo Samuel is one of those guys where you feel that if you worry about your quarterback, Deebo may be the guy that he force feeds the ball to.
Right. Well, I'm hoping so, obviously. But I remember hearing that he didn't want to run these just these kind of screens and these slants. He wanted, to be a true receiver, which I don't think is going to fit in the game plan with the quarterback they got going right now. I forget the guy's name.
This is on the young guy. Shoot, I just forgot his name. I'm having a hard time hearing you, Dose.
Oh, can you hear me now?
Perfect.
Yeah. You're talking about some of these teams where I'm expecting the land to be a dumpster fire. I'm expecting to be Chicago, a dumpster fire. But there's always every season there's always that team you think is going to be, or maybe a couple teams you think it's going to be just fucking awful, and they just come out of nowhere, and it's like that's the toughest thing to do is just try to pick out which one of these teams is actually going to go way above what anybody expects.
You're right, and everybody that's a fan of one of these teams hope it's their team. It's Trey Lance. That's who it is. The young quarterback for San Francisco.
Yeah. So he's got kind of a run first mentality, right?
Yep.
Right here.
Yep, he does. But so does also the young quarterback for Chicago, if I'm not mistaken. But also, I think though that's just kind of that's quite a lot of the quarterbacks now. What was it, Justin Fields?
Yeah.
So like they're both kind of the same quarterback because that's what you're seeing now. They want that mobility, whether you're mobile at 220 pounds or you're mobile at 260 pounds. That's what like whether you're built like Lamar Jackson or you're built like Josh Allen. They want you like they like a little mobility.
Man, he lit it up the other night.
Damn, did he? He's the guy that
interception. Even throwing 2 interceptions, he still looks great. I don't know how you do that, but Jesus.
They were on like I said a tennis term. They're on like unforced turnovers. Like they weren't his fault. Like his like one of them was both. I know the first one wasn't his fault. Like his receiver had it and just juggled it. Yeah. So that's like an unforced turnover that's going to go on the quarterback, but we can see that one.
The second one, the guy, it was a nice interception. It kind of reminded me of an old Deion Sanders interception where you think you're open, and then just like out of nowhere, boom, this guy comes in and out of nowhere and grabs it. So that one was Josh Allen's fault. First one, I fault the receiver.
Yeah, and then that team looked good too. Like I mentioned it earlier, that the only 2 times they got stopped was the only 2 times they really got stopped was on that interception and the fumble. Other than that, they were having their way with that defense both times. Like it's like those turnovers saved them. Like it wasn't like they were struggling and then a turnover came. No, they were knee deep in American Pie, and next thing you know, they got walked like somebody walked in the kitchen was like, oh shit, my bad. Was I not supposed to stick my dick in this?
San Francisco, they have a good team. That quarterback's got a great team around him, so I think they're going to be fine. Chicago, on the other hand, yeah,
he does. And then the thing about San Francisco too, right, is that if Trey Lance doesn't pan out, or his slight, because he kind of have a slight build, if his slight build gets him injured because he are like instead of being more like Lamar Jackson and he avoids hit, he ends up being more like RG3 and starts taking hits. Maybe and if he goes out early, then you have Jimmy G right back there, and Jimmy G is just as injury prone. And any season where you could get Jimmy G to not have to start the beginning of the season, but be like, you know what, just kind of last the last 8 weeks. That's right down Jimmy. Listen, 8 weeks of football is right down Jimmy G's wheelhouse. That's like Kyrie Irving, like being able to play only 40 games in a year. Like that's all he wants to do.
Yeah. I mean, Jimmy, he's a respectable quarterback during the regular season, but his postseason is just freaking awful, which is why he's finding himself in the backup spot.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, and the thing about it, he's also one of those quarterbacks as a backup. He could very well walk himself into a Nick Foles kind of situation, where the team is doing just all right, and then he comes in, he gets them hype and focused again because they remember what he used to be, and they just give him whatever little bit of oomph to help him get over that 1 year. It's so weird because football has all of these little scenarios that are tied in, and these are the stories that are building up, that are waiting to be unfolded. You know what I mean, or to see exactly how they're written throughout the season.
Yeah, because there's really 2 seasons. You got the first half, and then you got that second half when teams find their identities. There's some teams that are going to come out of it. So let me ask you something. Who do you think is a team that everybody's expecting to be just a total dumpster fire that's actually going to light it up pretty good and maybe even make the playoffs? If you had to pick a team that nobody was, because there's always that one. Who would have thought Cincinnati would have made it even?
I know, right? Listen, okay, so the homer in me has to disqualify the Jets and the Giants, right? I have to disqualify them.
I'm a Giants fan. It kills me. Shit.
Like the homer in me really wants to say one of them two, but I don't believe it. I don't really believe it enough. Like I like some of the pieces the Jets have. They have, like, it's the Jets to me finally has like a wide receiver that you can't mess up on. Like you put a ball in the general, and we're gonna see. Listen, you're gonna hear me say a lot of this. We're gonna see on Monday, right? On Sunday, right? September 11th in New York. That's a big day for them. Normally the crowd and the players a little charged up that day. I like what the Jets have. I don't think they're gonna be one of those teams that make the playoffs. Maybe the Carolina Panthers, maybe them. I don't know if they're underneath any. I don't know if they're under the radar. I don't know how far underneath the radar, but I think the Carolina Panthers are. They're a team that people don't, but I don't see it. I don't know if they'll win a Super Bowl or make it to the Super Bowl, but I think they'll win more. How many games are they selected to win? What's their over under?
Carolina?
Yeah.
I have no idea.
It's okay. I'm gonna see if I can pull it up real quick.
You got Baker Mayfield starting right now. Who the hell's the regular starting quarterback now?
It's gonna be Baker Mayfield, and then Christian McCaffrey should be back. And then you add that with Robbie Anderson and then any other weapons they have. Like, see, Carolina is always one of those teams that if the quarterback could do well, they should have a good team. And if Baker Mayfield is, yeah, see, they have him at 5.5 games over under. Yeah, so I can see them possibly. I can see them possibly doubling that. I can see them at 9-10 wins. I haven't looked at the rest of the season, but I can see them getting 9-10 wins. I haven't seen their schedule at all.
I think they'll win the first game against Cleveland.
He'll be supercharged. Listen,
especially the division they're in too. Shit, no way. I think 5.5 is actually it may be a little low. I can see him winning 7 games. Definitely not a playoff team, but hey, who knows?
I don't know how I feel about Cleveland Because I feel like Cleveland is getting exactly like the perfect storm in a weird way. To not get Deshaun Watson back until week 11. To not have to take 10 weeks of punishment. Right?
Me, this is what it seems like. They gave up a season for Deshaun Watson. I mean, there's no way. I think he'll be a good quarterback for them, but I think they're just saying, fuck it this year. Whatever happens, happens. Next year we got starting.
Yeah, but I
think they'll be in a good spot next year.
What if I told you that I believe that their first year is going to be the furthest they'll go with Deshaun Watson? And maybe it's enough of a spark to carry him out through the rest of his Cleveland career. I think his first year is going to be the furthest he's going to go.
Wait, say that again?
I think however deep that Cleveland gets this year with Deshaun Watson, it's going to be the furthest they're going to go during his tenure in Cleveland. They'll never get further than they get this year.
Wow. That's so you're saying they're a better team without him?
No. I think I think this is their year to catch that perfect lightning in a bottle at the right time. And then after that, you just have Deshaun Watson playing through a whole season. And
come on.
I think he's gonna have I think Cleveland is set for a deep playoff run. So I'm saying that they're gonna have I think they have a pretty deep playoff run or a decent playoff run this year. But every year after that, they're gonna fall short from where they made it to. I don't know why.
Yeah, I don't know why either.
It's just one of those weird equations. Because like I said, I feel this year they go deep. Deshaun Watson comes back in week 11. By week 13, 14, they're still in it. He's still catching his stride. By the time he's in full stride, we're talking about the end of the season. They make it to the playoff. They may be one of the hottest teams in the league right at the end of the season, going into the playoffs. And then they have one of the teams set up to, like, if you had to dump them and say, okay, we're warmed up and most of our guys are healthy, let's start the playoffs now. They're a hell of a team to have to face.
I predict that Carolina will have a better record than Cleveland. Wow. All right. Moving on. Who's the next? Yeah,
Listen, I don't know. Listen. Oh well, we said Carolina have a better record than Cleveland. You thought Cleveland was going to win 7 games at most?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, so I see why you feel. I see why you feel so weird. So I see why my take sounds so heavy on you, and I'm on the other side of the fence. Like, hey, we got green grass over there too.
Not that it sounds heavy. I wish I was like in a football pool against you, because I think I'd be kicking your ass.
Listen, I don't know what games I'll be picking. I don't know what games I'm picking Cleveland to win yet. I just think that they're gonna catch strike. We have 19 games 18 games in the season now, right? Yeah.
What's that?
Yeah, we have. Yeah. See, it's just one of those things in my head. I just think that they'll catch heat at the perfect time with Deshaun Watson back, and that's going to lead to a decent run in the playoffs. I don't know if it's going to lead to to the best record in the world. I think it's going to lead to a decent playoff run.
I think you're just going with one of those like haywire predictions you would hear from like Skip Bayless or Stephen A. Smith and fucking run with it. I'm going to troll everybody with this take.
Listen, I have my own trolling takes. I don't listen to those guys for a reason. I can't have them influencing my bad habits. Listen, I have my own bad habits. I can't be taking up their habits too. All right.
What's the next game?
Let's continue to move on. We touched on the team a little bit. Next game is gonna be Pittsburgh at Cincinnati, and I think I'm gonna go full on Cincy. I feel like I'm doing a lot. I feel like there's a lot of chalk happening here, right? I'm gonna go Cincy. I don't quite trust Pittsburgh yet. I'm gonna have to see what Pittsburgh looks like without Ben Roethlisberger first.
Yeah,
without no Juju Smith-Schuster, like without knowing like whatever they've had over the last couple of years to make them successful. No Antonio Brown, no Le'Veon Bell, no Connor, no James Conner. Like I got to see what this new team looks like.
Yeah, this is a team that's now going to be looking for their identity. Who are we? Because without Ben Roth, at least they always had an identity with the quarterback, with Roethlisberger. I hate saying that fucker's last name. But this is one of these teams where they're actually, when I say there's like two seasons, the first half and the second half, I think the first half it was down with who are we? What's our identity? Second half, it's all right. Well, they got a great coach, so I think they'll be all right in that department. But yeah, that's they're in that transition. Like you said, you're a Giants fan, right?
Well, no, I'm a New Yorker. I'm a Jets fan.
Or New York, yeah. It's like the end of Eli. Not that was really any good, but you know what I mean. It's right, this is a totally different team. This is a new era.
Yeah, well, they're different. They'll be a different level of stability, and listen, the Pittsburgh Steelers in a better spot and a better position than the Giants were because at least the Pittsburgh Steelers has a healthy coach. They have a tenured coach. Right. Like their coach still is he's the culture setter as well as much as Ben Roethlisberger is the quarterback, and he's doing everything from that leadership position. I feel like Mike Tomlin is still the culture setter, the culture setter there. He's the guy that start making players comfortable to do this. Start relaxing, being able to go to management. You know what I mean? Start and bringing out their best version of themselves. That isn't Ben Roethlisberger that has them training as hard as they can be. No, that's the coach that they're in. So it's part of everything. It's part of being in. It's part Mike Tomlin. It's part being in Pittsburgh and what the Steelers mean. It's part playing for the Roonies. You know what I mean? Like culture. Like current culture and past culture and team history matters, and
absolutely, I totally agree with that.
So a lot of guys are gonna come in and they'll automatically fall in line. They'll automatically have their ears pinned up and pinned back, waiting for direction to see like, okay, can this organization could they gonna believe it, right? And it's not always something that teams that players believe when they go to some organizations like the Jets, but they'll feel like when you go to Pittsburgh that this team and this organization can help me be a better version of myself. I don't know if that's going to happen on the first game, though. It's not going to be answered on the first game. Like, I smoking Joe Burrow is going to smoke their ass.
And that's what we all expect. But divisional game, you know, a lot of these games that we're talking about, like I even go back to like New Orleans, Atlanta. I'm expecting Atlanta to be a dumpster fire, but no matter how bad either of these teams are, they always seem to play each other really good. And I could see that with Cincinnati, Pittsburgh. Of course, I got to pick Cincinnati. You know, they made it to the Super Bowl. I definitely think Cincinnati's going to take a step back, though. There's no way. They caught lightning in a bottle. They last year were this year's fucking Cleveland Browns.
They were.
So yeah, I definitely got Cincinnati.
They were like the equivalent to like the Memphis Grizzlies of the NBA because they lost their superstar for a while and it was like, you know what, we're gonna be good. We're gonna miss it for a little bit and we're gonna come right back and keep on trucking. They really, but what if they break? See, this is the question now. Can Cincinnati break through? Can Cincinnati get back and break through? I know what you just said. Like, listen, you don't expect it, but what if they're that team that, you know what? What if Joe Burrow is that dude? Yeah. Man, can you imagine what happens if he comes in?
Yeah, a lot of people think that way. I'm still on the fence.
Smoking Joe Burrow. Like, listen, that will have all of us exhaling.
I hear so much like Tom Brady comparison. It's like, all right, let's fucking pump the brakes here a little bit.
Listen, I don't compare anybody to Tom Brady. Tom Brady is an anomaly, right?
Yeah.
But imagine I'm just saying, imagine in a world, right? In a world where Joe Burrow comes in his third season and he wins a Super Bowl and we get a picture of him smoking a cigar on the side after winning the Super Bowl after his third year. You understand? He could Dan Marino with the rest of his career, like never make it back, right?
No, absolutely.
But imagine what if he does that. Imagine what would happen in Cincinnati. Imagine how bad Cleveland's gonna feel. Like, if that happens,
Cleveland, this is for you.
I'm sorry, Cleveland. I can't help myself anymore. I'm so pissed off at Cleveland right now. I'm about to start having a personal beef with Cleveland again, like in all sports, and definitely in basketball. I don't like what happened recently. All right, listen. So, the Donovan Mitchell, the Donovan Mitchell trade, like that one, that's a tough move. That's a good team over there in Cleveland. That really is. But I'm gonna take a quick break. Right, we're gonna take a quick break, folks. We're gonna come back. And when we come back, we're gonna finish up the rest of these picks, and finish up the show. But this is for you.
They didn't join this team to win championships or become famous. They joined because there is important work to be done, and only some able to do it. They are brighter, better educated, led, and equipped than any team in history. They are doctors.
And we are back with the MyT Sports Podcast. Right now, we are going right into our picks. Folks, don't forget to like and share the podcast wherever you are listening at. And don't forget, we do have calling lines, and the calling lines are open. That's where we have our boy Dos calling in from our podbean call-in line. You ready to get these next picks out of the way, Dos? I think we may have lost it for a minute. Oh, he dropped down. Well, we'll get you back up here. All right, so the next game that we have up, right? I think we both were in Cincy. There you go. We both picked Cincy, and we'll see when Ronnie throws his pick up in here, folks. We also next game we have New England versus the Miami Dolphins. These are one of those games I really hate to pick. And these are one of those games I just really hope like a small meteor just dropped on the stadium. Right? like no Jets fans.
I love watching those Super Bowls with the Giants against New England.
Hey, I love watching those Super Bowls too. I do as well. I actually remember. I know where I was at for one of them. I can't remember where I was at for the second one. I may have been too drunk for that one. But yeah. Listen, I enjoy those two. Listen, anytime Tom Brady crumbles, I'm a fan of. So next thing we have is New England versus the Miami Dolphins. I just hate New England, period, and I hate the Dolphins, period. I have no faith in Tua got a tongue twister. You guys hear me say this a billion times. I have no faith in
Tyreek now.
I have no faith in Tua got a tongue twister. I still think that Jalen Hurts is going to end at the end of both of their careers. Jalen Hurts is going to end up being the better quarterback. I think he's the better quarterback now. I think he's going to be the better quarterback at the end of his career. It's just how I feel. So I'm gonna go with New England, only because I think I'll rather have the people that I am closest to, meaning I can physically see. I'd rather see them in pain more from a loss, because I live in South Florida now. So I want
Miami.
What's that?
I got Miami.
Oh, I'm picking New England.
I got Miami in that one. Yeah.
Okay.
I think Tua's now got Tyreek Hill. New England looked like a dumpster fire in the preseason. I know they always say can't judge it by the preseason, but you know what? I'm going to do it anyway. So fuck you. And yeah, definitely Miami. New England is going to have their worst season, I think, in a long time.
Really? Listen, I hope so.
Yes.
Because if they have their worst season in a long time, that means the Jets won't be the worst team in their division.
No, Jets are still going to be the worst.
He's like, no, that's still going to happen. That's still happening. They're not going to be that bad. Then speaking of the Fly Boys, we have the Baltimore Ravens taking on the New York Jets. And I don't think there's any sane person in the world, unless the betting numbers are just so profitable in the Jets' favor, that I don't think there's anybody that's picking the Jets in this one. Baltimore all the way.
I'm going to go with the Jets.
What in the goodness gracious is going on here? I almost glitched.
I'm going to go with the Jets only because nobody else is going to go with the Jets. So I'm going to be that one guy. It's like, all right, if it happens, I'm going to be like, I told you so. I saw something in them. I knew they were going to do it.
Listen, if the Jets win here, it is 100% a Joe Flacco revenge game. That's all that is. Listen, and also that young wide receiver for the Jets also had a 3-touchdown game because Joe Flacco was gonna do his best. Damn it, who was the old? Damn, we just talked about him on Wednesday. The old guy that he force fed the ball to get his Super Bowl. Anquan Bolden. He's gonna do his best Anquan Bolden's impersonation, and he's just gonna force feed that young guy the ball 15 times a game. And I don't mind if he does that because he's gonna be worth a flex spot in my. Like I picked him up. Listen, they got nobody else to go to.
Hey, so this is my first year ever doing fantasy football.
Well, congratulations.
Thanks, dude. I got my fucking ass handed to me on Thursday.
Well, how many players did you have playing, and how many players did he have playing?
I had 3. I got
damn.
Matt Stafford as a quarterback.
Okay.
He fucking killed me. I got Singletary as one of my running backs. And if they would have fed him the ball a little more, I think he would have had a nice day for me. And then their kicker.
Yeah, I had Buffalo's kicker. He actually did work for me. I had Buffalo's kicker and Miami and LA's defense. So, who's the rest of your team?
I got Eckler.
Okay.
Yeah, he's my first running back. Debo.
All right.
He was a receiver I took. Hold on, let me go look here. Fuck, I can't believe I don't know all this at the top of my head.
Listen, I don't know my team either at the top of my head.
Well, it's just been like consumed like 90% of my time
the
last few days, except for today because I'm all pissed off after last night.
Understood.
I got Cortland Sutton.
Okay.
Receiver. Eckler, Singletary. So here's one I got going that I think is going to be really good. I got Dalton Schultz from the Cowboys as a tight end.
All right.
And I actually have him over Pitts from Atlanta.
Interesting.
Yeah, I mean they're both projected to do kind of the same, not much difference. But I with Pitts coming in, new quarterback, who is it? Moriata.
Yeah. Mary.
Do they have any other targets besides Kyle Pitts?
That's a force feed situation.
Right. And that the other team's going to know that as well.
But no, they have, wait
a minute. Here's my biggest problem that I've already kind of figured out right now with fantasy football is I'm trying to use logic. It ain't fucking working.
So, so the way I listen, like there is no real logic in fantasy football, right? Like, I mean, there is, and some people find it, but there's been just ask these same people with the same that have these game-winning logics, right? They're gonna tell you about. Like I said, I'm not. These are just tips, right? And like these are just tips, like that I'm giving you. They're not winning tips, right? Like they're just flat out tips.
That's the other thing. Everybody has like their fucking. This is what you got to do. This is everybody's a fucking professional. And then at like the end of every conversation, it's like, but I don't know. Like, well, fuck you then.
Yeah, exactly. Like these aren't like, but I do know that. Actually, I do know guys that when teams have no options, like those teams that only have one wide receiver sometimes, or that guy you gotta figure, okay, there's a young quarterback, where's he gonna go? That force feed security blanket sometimes looks really good.
Yes.
And like you said, and then you just find guys like you like see logic does apply in some spots. Like back in the day when the Jets had Darrelle Revis, you did not want to play your number one wide receiver against the Jets. That was logical. You did not.
Yep.
He really made your wide receiver had an off night. So if you were used to 12 points from your guy, you were expecting now 3. And that's not what you want. Go get your backup. Logic like that applies. If there's a shutdown corner out there in the league and he's shutting down everybody that he goes up against and you have a number one wide receiver, you change your number one wide receiver that week if you can. I understand you may risk it for the business, like, oh, he'll get a better of him. If he's been doing it to everybody, don't think that your somebody isn't everybody, because even somebody is part of everybody once in a while. Just saying. I'm not just talking to you. We're talking in general. We talking now. Right? So so some of these number one guys is good. And then like some logic applies like for the Dolphins, like not for the Dolphins, for the Dallas Cowboys. It's logical to get Tony Pollard as a running back behind Ezekiel Elliott. It's logical to get the backup quarterback a backup running back to Dalvin Cook. Like that, these are logical things. You can be logical like that.
I noticed that in the later rounds when drafting. I think what I fucked up on is I grabbed Matt Stafford too early. I grabbed Matt Stafford in the 5th round.
Yeah.
Well, and here's what happened.
Are you playing in a PPR league or a regular league?
What's that?
Are you playing in a PPR league or a regular league?
I don't know what that means.
Okay, so we're gonna say regular.
That's how fucking new I am to this.
So PPR means points per reception. So every time one of your wide receiver catches the ball, right? Whether it's for
yes, I get points.
1 yard or no.
Points.
Okay, so then you guys are so you're playing in a PPR league. It's points per reception or points per touch kind of thing. So usage matters in a certain way. Like so for guys that would have had like say Stephon Diggs, not only did they get what did he get? Let's say he ended up putting up 100 and how many yards did he put up? 100.
He had 25 points last night because I only know this because the guy who I went up against last night had fucking Diggs.
So
and it was fucking killing me when he got that touchdown pass in the end zone, just like laying there. I was like, that's it. I am done.
Yeah, so for you fantasy football neophytes, so a lot of people that listen to my women's fantasy football league, right? So the way like Stephon Diggs points where he's getting 10 points he's getting 1 point for every 10 yards that he delivered. He had 122 yards. There goes 12 points right there. And then he got the touchdown. So there goes 18. So you get 6 points per touchdown. So there goes another 6 points. So there goes 18 points. But then we said he gets a point per reception, right? PPR. So he had 8 receptions. So now on top of those 24 points, he gets another 8 points on top of that. Or whatever. So we were at 16. I'm sorry. And he gets another 8 points on top of that. There goes 24 points. And that's how the PPR league works. You ladies, you're in a standard league. You don't have to worry about that. For any of the ladies that are listening to my fantasy football league, I see a couple of you out there. You don't have to worry about all of that. That's not meant for you. You don't have to worry about going cowgirl on your fantasy football league. You can ride that. You can just worry about doing that shit missionary. You're not there yet. You're not there yet. We're not swinging from any harnesses yet. In case you guys don't know, I do organize an entire women's fantasy football league, and the winner for my women's fantasy football league, she does get a $50 prize, as well as any gift and prizes that we may accumulate or get donated to us throughout the year for the fantasy football league. So let's continue these picks because we're running out of time and we have a whole lot of picks to get into. So you went Jets, I went Baltimore. Ronnie probably passed out on us. Listen, Ronnie has a rough time. I think. Are you still in Cuba, Ronnie? Listen, if you guys don't know that Ronnie's here with us. I got Miami winning. Okay. But what about your Baltimore Jets game? I also missed you in the Cincinnati game. You're kind of behind. Listen, I know Ronnie. Ronnie's one of our service members. He works very hard and he works long hours. So sometimes while he's listening, he may go in and out. It's perfectly understood. We get you. Just keep protecting our country for us, Ronnie. And yes, he's still in Cuba. It just sucks that you can't go out, man. Because I'm like, you gotta imagine. Like, there has to be a decent amount of asses just walking around in Cuba. Talking about, hey, yo, mommy, ven aquí, dame beso. If you know, however they say it in Cuba.
Like, this guy's going to sleep at night, smoking a cigar.
Smoking a Cuban
goes to bed at night like fucking Joe Burrow.
Actually, ayo, I mean, customs have opened up. Ayo, Ronnie, can you get me a couple of cigars on your way back? Next time you come through,
I was gonna ask him that.
Like, seriously, and I'm gonna let you know. I'm gonna let you know right now. I'm gonna use it as rolling paper.
Just you better not have to smuggle those things in the prison wallet.
Oh no, not the prison wallet.
Sure, this is Cuban. Get some American out here.
It's kind of funky. So you don't have to go all out. Like I'm gonna end up rolling it up anyway. I'm probably end up stuffing it. I'm not even gonna end up rolling. I'm gonna end up stuffing the whole entire Cuban. Oh, that's gonna be thick as fuck. I'm gonna be smoking that shit for a whole entire day. Yes, one whole day. Not. Some of you probably expected me to say like a whole entire weekend or probably a week. Nah, if I stuff a Cuban, it may last me a whole day, maybe. But you know what? I'm going to have fun trying to figure it out. All right, let's go into our next pick, folks. We have the Jacksonville Jaguars taking on. Now, am I the only one that knows this?
No.
The initials WC. Do you guys, am I the only one that's aware that the WC are the initials for the bathroom internationally?
Really?
Yes. WC stands for water closet, and if you go overseas in other places, you'll see WC like all on top of all their bathrooms. And I say that because even when the Washington Commanders try to change their name, they still get it wrong. Because every time I think of them now, I think of the water closets.
And that's why I'm going with Jacksonville. They're gonna piss all over Washington.
Damn. I'm not gonna lie. Even this game's a tough one. Even as I just made fun of Washington.
You called them the fucking toilet club.
I did. But Jacksonville, though,
you're gonna call them a toilet club and go with Washington, dude?
Dub C, the water closet team. I don't know. It's something really. 2 years ago, they were in the playoffs. Playing they were looking at.
Oh, come on, dude. They're in the NFC East.
They were playing. That does say a lot. That's what I said. They were playing right? They had Fitzmagic out there doing his thing with the open shirts. So there's defense and there's some form of offensively there. But is Jacksonville finally tired of losing with their new quarterback? They had to go through a lot of BS last year. Like they had
Jacksonville's that team. I think Jacksonville's that team where they're going to have a huge step up. I don't think they're going to make the playoffs, but I think they're going to be there at the end, threatening.
I don't like it. I'm probably.
Huh?
I said no. I'm sorry. I said no. I'm confused. I don't like it. I'm probably gonna regret this, but I'm gonna have to go with the place that I spend a good 20% of my day at, and I'm going with the water closet.
All right, I got Jacksonville. You take your toilet bowl club and get out there.
Listen, it's a hard game because I feel like they both like struggling teams are hard to pick sometimes. Sometimes they're a little bit harder to pick than two good teams. because you really don't know which team is gonna wet the bed and which team is gonna, because one of these two bad teams are gonna come out looking like they can win a whole lot more games than they were picked to win when the season began. But really, it's all gonna be is that they're both going against two bad teams. It could be. I hope. Listen, I wouldn't mind if you're right. I wouldn't mind it. I really don't want Washington to have success. I don't want Dallas to have success. I don't want the Water Clouds to have success. When it comes to Philly, I'm gonna tell you something. I have a personal love with. I fucks with a lot of Philly people. And that's the only thing about it. I fucks with a lot of Philly people. Like me and Philly got a personal love relationship, right? Like me and the Illadel.
You have a lot of ladies in your fantasy team or league in Philly?
No, not that at all. Not that at all. Listen, like me and Philly, like we go back, right? Like we go way back. But so I don't quite hate Philly. Like I just don't particularly mind what they do. I just kind of look at Philly and be like, all right, I see you. We'll stay in your place. Listen, one of my co-hosts, they have Philly going to the Super Bowl, if I'm not mistaken. Yep. They have no, in the NFC Championship game, they have San Francisco versus Philly. One of my co-hosts here.
Did he hit his head?
No, that's a real thing. That's a real thing. And he's been making this prediction since early August.
Wow, he's just like throwing one out there.
He saw something.
It's like he picked It's like he picked a name out of a hat.
All right, it's like
we're going with this one.
It's like he was dared to pick two random names and bet on it. Alrighty, so let's go on to the next one, and I think I've already answered who I'm going to pick on this game. Well, we have Cleveland Browns taking on the Carolina Panthers, and I'm going Carolina.
I got Carolina.
Yeah. Like I don't think it's going to be that hard to to figure out now, and it's only because we have no clue what Cleveland's going to be looking like this for the first week. We're talking about Tony Brissett or Jacoby Brissett. Sorry, Tony Brissett. Jacoby Brissett as the starting quarterback for them, and then that's really about all we can say about it. And then because Jacoby Brissett is a question mark of a quarterback, even though he's a good backup quarterback, he's a solid backup quarterback. That's what he is. He's a backup quarterback. And backup quarterbacks are backup quarterbacks for a reason. But they have to.
I think if Baker Mayfield is going to have his best game of the season,
it's going to be here.
It'll be that one.
Yeah. Baker Mayfield is the king of petty. We've seen him since college. This is the kind of game that, listen, not for nothing. This is the kind of game that gets his dick hard. Like he's that guy. Like I know it's a weird saying, but as soon as I say yeah, that's him. He's that guy. This game against his former team that slighted him, he can't sleep. He's pacing all night. He's charged up. Like he's walking around with a fully all day long.
Yeah, it's like that situation when his former coach went to the other team and he was like, "Oh, fuck this guy," and that's when he kind of came on. Who was it? Who was that coach? You know what I'm talking about?
Not Freddie Kitchens. Stefanski, something like that.
Cormier. Oh shit.
Oh, I'm thinking about the wrong guy. But I remember the comments. I remember him going off on him. But listen, that's Baker Mayfield. Baker Mayfield. I can see why people like Baker Mayfield for a while, and then he rubs them the wrong way because he sounds like a rah-rah team guy. Like he's always pushing an envelope, always over there talking. But it gets to a point where you look at it and be like, "Hey, let's shut the fuck up and let's play." He's a guy after a while you just get tired of hearing him talk.
What I liked about him is it was he was the only guy that seemed to really embrace Cleveland. Yes,
he did.
And the commercials, you got to admit, the commercials were awesome.
They were entertaining. They were super entertaining. They were good.
I was really surprised that whole thing ended the way it did.
That too.
So
That was surprising.
He got a chip on his shoulder, especially for this game. And I think Carolina's going to take it, and it'll be Baker Mayfield's best game of the season.
And all you Christian McCaffrey people, all you Robbie Anderson people, this is the game to play them in fantasy. Like you want. Hold on. Did we get it? Did we have it ready? If you want
the MyT fantasy football tips, not winning tips, just tips. Just the tip. Just the tip. Just the tip.
Let's just say what I want involves much more than just the tips. Just the tips. What I want is much more than just the tips.
Right? Fantasy football tip for today. Play Robbie Anderson. Play Christian. Now, granted, most people you're going to play Christian McCaffrey anyway. But this is definitely the game. Get your early work in. This is a revenge game for Baker Mayfield. Like, you understand? He's going to ball so hard. Everybody's going to try to find him. You be like, yo, this is the same Baker Mayfield that let go. Nobody's going to recognize him. But you will. Picture that guy from college that was planting flags in the opposing team's turf. That's this guy. That's who you should expect to get. That's that big chip, that spicy chip that I bite to that shit, Aldris Ilber, oh shit, kind of chip, right? Like,
a man with a grudge.
Yes. And Baker Mayfield is that. He's the chip on. He's the guy that. You know how we said there's players that need to play with a chip on their shoulder. Baker Mayfield is 100% that guy, and it don't get no bigger than this. We said whoever the NFL's mixologist was, they knew what they were doing, because by the time you were taking shots of Carolina and Cleveland, we should be drunk on football by now. Next game, we got Indiana versus Houston.
Houston is going to be an absolute train wreck.
Yes.
I think Houston will be the worst team in the league this year.
You are absolutely right. And I think right behind them will be the Jets and the Giants. I'm joking. Listen, listen, that was me being an asshole. I was taking shots at both.
We got Danny Dimes.
You mean damn Daniel? That's what I call him. Damn Daniel. He turned over the ball again, Daniel. And them good white cleats, Daniel.
Hey, have you ever remember the where he was about to run it in for a touchdown and he fell down right before the end zone?
Yeah, when he broke speeds that he's never reached before in his life.
Yeah. It's like his top half is like a half a mile an hour faster than his lower half. Have you ever watched that, like slowed it down and just watch his face?
No. Is it something to watch? Is it funny as hell?
You can see the exact second where he was like, no.
You know what I think you know what I think happened there? You ever start doing something so gracefully, so naturally that you're not even thinking? And he was breaking his speed, and the moment his consciousness came back to him, and he was like, yo, I am really, oh God, I lost it. It's like he took that second to think, and it was a wrap. His like body was like, who asked you to get involved in this? Eat face. Oh
yeah,
man.
He thought he was giving the whole thing, but he only had the tip.
Hey, that was a tease. That was a tease if it wasn't of teasers of teasers of teasers. But ever since then, now he has become one of the most athletic quarterbacks in the league, because you have to be athletic to reach top speeds of 22.5 miles an hour. I'm just like see, Daniel Jones, based off of that one run, has solidified himself as a backup quarterback career. If he doesn't make it as a starter, that one run is going to have coaches go, well, he did get 22.5 miles an hour, so if we could just find a way to go ahead and show some of these skills, we'll be able to make a good decent quarterback. I'm telling you, some quarterback is going to give us some coach is going to give us some quarterback speech and make him a starter somewhere, and they're going to reference that 22 and a half miles an hour. And then when he loses that job and gets his backup job somewhere else, that coach is going to talk about that 22 and a half miles an hour had just saved his whole entire career. He could forever now walk around like the Colt McCoys of the world, like the Sam Bradfords of the world. He is the next one in line to be those guys.
Yeah, I've been saying that for a couple of years now. He's a decent backup quarterback.
Listen, there's times where
he could run fast. So what? But he's not elusive.
Yeah, and it's the only time we saw him run fast was the one time he had a straight line for 30 yards.
Run, Forrest, run.
And he still fucked that up. Like it was nothing but air and opportunity, and he still fucked that up.
Fucking A.
Huh. Let's move on. Like I don't know how we. I know how we got to the Jets and the Giants. My bad. I brought us down next. I brought us into that into that quicksand. I'm sorry. Philadelphia Eagles versus the Detroit Lions. Now I'm gonna tell you this. I don't care how many ankles they bite, how many shins they bite, how many kneecaps they bite, how many thighs they bite, how many balls they suck, how many dicks they lick. The Detroit Lions are not winning this game. I'm sorry. These are all words from their coach. Don't at me. I'm going Philly. Listen,
I'm gonna actually go Detroit.
I like this. You know what though? I like that. You know what you said earlier. I wish I was playing with you in a football pool. Like I'm gonna go. I wish I was playing against you in a football pool.
My picks would probably be a little bit different.
So
after that whole speech, it's like, holy shit. Fucking Detroit's trying to use this reverse psychology. I think it's going to work.
But that was their speech last year when he took over. And
this year is going to work.
By game 4, he was crying on the podium. And then this year he's in Hard Knocks. Like, and he's still less entertaining than I just forgot his name. Oh my God. How did I forgot his name? Ryan.
Because
Jets head coach.
I'm going Philly. I'm going Philly too, and I hate to do it because I always my second favorite team is anybody who's playing the Cowboys, and then my third team is whoever is playing anybody else in that division. But obviously, if I'm going to use logic, I got to go with Philly.
I like Philly. I like Philly, and Jalen Hurst. He doesn't get. I feel as if, and it could be me. I could not be listening correctly. I feel as if he doesn't get enough credit for some of the stuff that he does. Even like I said, one of my co-hosts here. You know what? Sorry, folks. I knew I had this waited say for a while. We're gonna have to take a quick break because we just lost our call-in hotline because we were just timed down on PodBean. So what we're gonna do? We're gonna switch over to our new feed so that we can get those callers back in. And folks, here you go again. Army of one.
They didn't join this team to win championships, become famous. They joined because there is important work to be done, and only some able to do it. They are brighter, better educated, led, and equipped than any team in history. They are doctors, lawyers, engineers, technologists, and combat troops, all prepared for whatever comes their way. You'll find them where the lights don't flash, and the only contract they sign is with themselves and their country. One day,
this was
they
Gazy
may ask
to
what
work.
they did to make a
Keep my
difference in
drink
this
cold.
world. And they can respond, I became a soldier.
And we are back with the Mighty Sports Podcast. You are catching up the last hour of the show, and that's even if we have a whole full hour to give you. Right now, we are finishing up our picks of the evening. We had a caller with us, Dose, joining us. I gotta figure out where Dose is joining us from. Found out he was a Giants fan. Hates everybody in his division. But we didn't quite find out where he was calling from. We'll find out a little bit later. Now, the game that we were on was Philadelphia versus Detroit. And I'm gonna tell you this. I really do like Philadelphia's quarterback. I've been talking about Jalen Hurts for years. As you heard me say earlier today, I think he's gonna be a better quarterback throughout his whole entire career than Tua got a tongue twister. It's just that if he continue to get these opportunities, and also these opportunities that he's getting, you understand, like when it comes to passing touchdowns and rushing touchdowns, he is producing enough touchdowns up there with some of the great quarterbacks of all time. And he has given us also some of the best fantasy football numbers that we've gotten in a long time. We're talking about Cam Newton and his MVP kind of year kind of numbers. All right, so let's see if he's continue to do this. They continue to build this team to highlight his skill set and to take advantage of his skill set. Not say, hey, we got this team. Let me try to fit you into something that you're not. Or let me try to have you do all the no. You know what? You have a very particular set of skills, and you're very good at this. Let's take advantage of it. That's that Baltimore Ravens model. That's that Kansas City model. That's that Buffalo Bills model. I mean, fuck the lotto. You know what I'm saying? I forgot about somebody, and I just realized that. So I'm going Philly here. I'm going Philly. Like I said, Detroit is still a tough pick. Detroit for years has been a tough pick. Don't believe that this is going to be one of the few years that Detroit has gotten their shit together. Let's just keep it simple. Next up, we got the New York Giants versus the Tennessee Titans. And I think I'm going to be a homer here. Right? And the reason why and the reason for it is that I'm probably going to end up regretting this. But I think I'm going to Sharkies after this too. Let's let you guys know. I think I'm going to pick the Giants to try to win this game. I'm not a big believer in Ryan Tannehill. Now, that could 100% be the fact that he used to be a Dolphin and the Jet in me hates him. Because of that and because of that only. So I'm going to respectfully pick the Giants to beat Tennessee, and I'm probably going to be dead wrong for that one. But if I'm right, woo, that's going to be as good of a story. Now, honestly, I have no reason to pick the Giants to win this game. If anybody's listening to me, I'm telling you right now, you go ahead and you pick Tennessee. Tennessee still has that beast of a running game, and I don't think the Giants are going to be able to stop that running attack that's going to be presented to them whatsoever. And then now you're talking about they also wait. Is it? Wait. And Tennessee does have those two. Is it two wide receivers they have now? Or did they trade one of those wide receivers over to another team? Actually, no, they traded him to Philly. So they have that running game behind King Henry. I don't quite know what they're going to do in the passing game. I don't think the Giants can stop their rushing game because King Henry is that dude. Derrick Henry, that is. Fantasy people, you play Derrick Henry. Expecting to run all over the Giants. Like, and I'm talking about, listen, if we're saying all he gets is 80 yards and 2 touchdowns, guess what? That's enough points. That's enough points for you to have put yourself in a good winning position based off of one player. Right? You understand? That's 20 points right there from one guy. You'll be fine with that. You're not going to get 20 points from a lot of players. If you have Derrick Henry, you have one of the elites. Because if he doesn't have 80 points and 80 yards and 2 touchdowns, then he's going to have 140 yards and 1 touchdown. So you pick your poison on how he gets his 20 points. But Derrick Henry is going to get 20 points against the Giants. And I'm still picking the Giants to win because I hate Ryan Tannehill. What am I supposed to do here? Right? The heart hates who the heart hates. Next, guys, we have the Green Bay Packers taking on the Minnesota Vikings. And I'm going to put the Minnesota Vikings. You know, fuck it. I was going to say I don't have a lot of faith in Kirk Cousins, right? Because he always finds a way to disappoint me. I'm gonna actually allow him to disappoint me first. And you know what? I could be setting myself up. We're talking Minnesota versus Green Bay. Aaron Rodgers doing his thing. We know that he doesn't have that. He may have lost his number one target. But let's see now what this bad man does with whatever target he currently has. Let's see if he goes out here and he makes another wide receiver. And I'm gonna tell you this: whoever he finds, if you don't have him, right? Look who he's targeting this game. And I'm gonna tell you guys right now, whoever he starts targeting, if he's undrafted in your league, you pick him up, because that means he's gonna be his new favorite target. He's gonna be that. He's gonna be Aaron Rodgers' go-to guy. He's gonna be the guy that he starts picking on. And listen, if he's not, and he took a shot, but that's why you make sure if you go get him and you have to drop somebody, you drop somebody that you don't need, somebody that you already took a risk on, or took a flyer on. Maybe you made a homer pick in there somewhere late in the rounds, and they're like, you know what, I really don't need this guy. Nobody's gonna pick him up. Let me go ahead and pick up Aaron Rodgers' new favorite target, because you know he's looking for one now. I'm gonna go Minnesota. We're gonna see what happens with Cook, with Cook, Thielen, and the rest of those boys over there in Minnesota. Let's see if they can get their act together, at least for one game in Minnesota, so they can come away with a victory. Next up, we have Kansas City versus Arizona. And I'm not going to lie, this is just a game I want to see. I don't bet against Kansas City, right? I really don't. They're one of the few teams I don't like to bet against. I don't like to bet against Green Bay Packers either. I don't bet against Kansas City. But this is going to be an exciting game. This is another one of those games. Like, you understand, like we had a lull, right, for a little while after Cleveland and Carolina. Like we had a lull in what we were talking about. And those are the 1 o'clock games. But now we're still on the 4 o'clock games. Giants and Tennessee, But it's going to be the New York market that's going to pull that. That's going to really drive that game. Green Bay and Minnesota, that starts to get a little spicy. That's you know what I mean? You start to get a little, okay. Kansas City and Arizona, holy caliente. That's the game right there. That's one of the games right there that you're going to be glued on, and you're going to want to see. You're going to want to see what both of these young quarterbacks are doing. You're going to want to see the gunslinging, the running around, the throwing. You're going to want to see it all. This is one of those games you are not going to want to unglue your eyes from. I don't blame you. Don't blame you. But I don't like to go against Kansas City. I really don't. So I'm going to go heavy. I'm going to go Arizona here. I'm sorry. I mean, I don't like to, so I don't like the bid against Kansas. So I'm going to go at Kansas City here. Arizona's still an explosive team. They paid Kyler Murray recently. Let's see if Kyler Murray continues to ball out after getting paid. Right? That's always a question. After they got the bag, can they still continue to perform? Kyler Murray, we know, is a small quarterback, but he's explosive. He's lightning in a bottle. He really is electrifying. Let's see if he can light himself on and if he can light himself up and put on a W for his team. I don't see it. I'm gonna go Kansas City Chiefs all day long. This other game right here too. This is another one of those spicy ones. We're talking about the Las Vegas Raiders taking on the Los Angeles Chargers, right? I ain't gonna lie. I almost forgot that the Raiders were in Las Vegas. I thought they were the LA Raiders for some reason. I don't know why. Now, this is a good game for LA, for that whole LA Vegas area. You have, I want to say, 2 young quarterbacks. I don't know if we're considering Derek Carr a young quarterback anymore. He's kind of mid-level veteran quarterback by now, right? I mean, are we considering Patrick Mahomes a young quarterback, or are we kind of putting him in that mid-level veteran quarterback? Because I don't know if right? I think he's been in the league longer than Patrick Mahomes. I think. Excuse me. But I'm gonna go with that young Justin Herbert guy. That other quarterback that's built like a linebacker but doesn't have to play in cold weather. Runs like one too. I'm gonna say not only are the Chargers gonna win this game, Justin Herbert is gonna have himself a Josh Allen-like performance, if not better. He's gonna have himself 297 yards. He's gonna have himself 2 touchdowns. I don't think he's gonna have those 2 interceptions though, and 2 passing touchdowns. I mean, actually, he's gonna have the whole package, the 2 passing touchdowns and the 1 rushing. I think that he matches Josh Allen stride for stride in week 1. And then we have our Sunday night football game. And can I tell you right now, right here, right now, I'm going to be wrong here. I'm going to be wrong picking Dallas. I'm telling you right now, I'm going to be wrong picking Dallas. I am. I don't know what I'm thinking. I don't know why I'm doing this. I know why. I hate Tom Brady. I really do hate Tom Brady. You see how hard it's been for me to pick New England or the Dolphins? They're in the same squad. How to pick Tennessee. How hard it was for me to pick Jacoby Brissett. No, I mean, it's real here. Like the hate is real. It's really real. And I'm gonna go Dallas Cowboys. And also, again, mixologist, NFL, doing their thing. This is a game people are gonna want to see. Right? All of Tom Brady's fans and all of the Dallas Cowboys fans. That's a huge following for Sunday night football. Right? That's a hell of a following for Sunday night football. And also for the Dallas Cowboys. More than it means anything for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. This is going to be one of those measurement games, right? We didn't have a lot of measurement games this year, right? We had the first measurement game that we had was Buffalo and the LA Rams. After that, there's not a lot of, you need to win this game against this team to kind of see if you truly are what you think you are. We don't have that with New Orleans and Atlanta. We don't have that in San Francisco and Chicago. Pittsburgh, well, maybe Pittsburgh, Cincinnati, we have that a little bit. Because in that division, every game is played roughly. So if Joe Burrow needs to win, maybe here. But everywhere else, what we gotta say? New England versus, Tua got a tongue twister versus New England, a little bit there. Just a little bit there. Baker Mayfield, Carolina. You understand? A lot of that stuff I'm talking about still in game, still in like there's not a lot of it. Well, maybe Minnesota. See, Minnesota doesn't need to prove anything to Green Bay. Arizona needs to prove it to Kansas City. I'm not sure who the Chargers. Well, the Chargers do need to prove something. But these Dallas. Well, you know what? I take that back. I just talked myself back from my previous statement. But it is here. It definitely is here. Dallas Cowboys, Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Dallas needs a win here early in their season to see if they are on par with some of the best teams in the league. Not just some of the best teams in the league, the best quarterback currently playing the game of football in the league. I don't know. Most winningest quarterback in the league. There we go. He gets to measure himself against the ultimate winner in Tom Brady. Now, is Tom Brady going to come out thinking this is his Super Bowl? No, but for the Cowboys, this is their early Super Bowl. When the Cowboys win this game, all you're going to hear is, them boys. It's going to be obnoxious. But rightfully so. Dak knows what he needs. Zeke knows what he needs. This coach staff knows what he needs. Jerry Jones knows what they need. This is kind of like the game of Buffalo. Like I said with Buffalo earlier, you don't want to have a bad performance here if you're Dallas. a bad performance is not going to end well for you. See, some of these teams can have bad performances. Tua got a tongue twister. He have a bad performance. He's not gonna be buried. Right? He's like, oh, we thought he is what we thought he was. When Baker Mayfield, he has a bad game. He's not gonna get buried. You know, it's like, hey, he was Baker. Now we see why they were so willing to get rid of him. This isn't a game to be like, oh, are you amongst some of the best teams in the league here? Dallas is gonna have to deal with that if they lose this game. I'm going Dallas here. And again, I really dislike Tom Brady. I have no feelings towards the Dallas Cowboys. Actually, I kind of don't like them either. So if I had to take the lesser of two evils, I will rather have the Dallas Cowboys win than the Tampa Bay Buccaneers win. But you know what? Maybe I'd rather take the Tampa Bay Buccaneers win, because if they lose to Dallas early, then it's just going to force Tom Brady to be hyper-focused in the beginning and the rest of the year, because he will even hold all those guys accountable for their slackness. So I'm picking Dallas, but I'm kind of hoping Tampa Bay wins. I don't know. I'm just a man. But I am going with Dallas. I am going to go Dallas. Let's see if Dallas is actually able to pull himself off a nice little victory. And then we have Monday Night Football. Now, wait a minute. I'm supposed to be putting points on these, ain't we? I'm supposed to give you the 3-2-1 down. For the Monday night game, we got the Denver Broncos versus the Seattle Seahawks. And I'm telling you right now, the Denver Broncos are going to light that fanny up. Right? You understand, Mr. Unlimited is going to look pretty unlimited against his old team. Like, you understand, I want to see him against his old defense. Now, I'm going to tell you something. The only thing that would have made this game better is if guys like Bobby Wagner, you see where this is going, Richard Sherman, and some of them other boys were still on this team, so that when they got to the quarterback, it actually meant something. A lot of those guys, they've passed on. Some of those guys are barely playing football anymore. Some of those guys are fully employed by ESPN as we speak. So when he's going against his old team and his old culture, his old stadium, his old crowd, and he's still going to get a decent amount of love. He's just a lovable guy. I don't see Seattle doing a lot of booing towards him. You're going to be paying attention to that whole entire thing until he's up 3 touchdowns on them, and then you're like, oh, look what you've done. He's going to be happy. He's going to come back and, well, this was a nice game. And he was really happy here. We just wanted to give it up, and it really was about the team, and he really gave a good production to those guys. He really was the best. I think he'll give you one of those generic talks. Now, if I had to pick, right, and start giving these games my odds, Monday night game, Sunday night game, and we missed Thursday night game already. I don't even know if I made it clear who I was going to pick. I would say, I knew the New Yorker was me and was going to pick Buffalo. But we'll leave that alone, right? We'll make that everybody's 1 point. Everybody will get a free 1 point. But we're talking about Tampa Bay and Dallas, right? And then Seattle and Denver. I'm putting my 3-pointer on Denver. Like, that's honestly the team that I feel the most confident about if they had to win a game. So 100%. Right? I'm giving that to Denver. My 3 points. Now for 2, I'm gonna go ahead and get that to Dallas. Obviously, because Buffalo automatically got my 1. And then we'll get the rest of everybody's picks in here as well too. But folks, man, this is exciting, right? I mean, how much time do we have left? Let's find that out first before we go into a whole nother soliloquy. Oh, we got plenty of time left. But how crazy is this, right? Like, football is back again. Like, how good? Cut that beat for me. Like, how good does it feel to have football back? Like, back. We're talking about this weekend right here. I don't want you guys forget to like and share the podcast, right? Listen, no matter, you can find me everywhere. Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, Instagram, like any place that you watch videos at, anywhere that you listen to podcasts at, Google Podcast, iHeart, TuneIn, what is it? Spotify? Yeah, that's what it's called. Yeah, I'm on Spotify too. Don't get it twisted, we there. Yeah, I'm on TuneIn, Google Podcasts, and Spotify. All of them, B. All of them. But yo, how crazy is this, right? How exciting is this? How exciting is it that football is back? Like Sunday, September 11th, we're gonna get a smorgasbord of football. The full slate, 14 games. We got one on Thursday. We're gonna get one on Monday. 14 games on Sunday. I don't know about you guys, but like most people, I'm probably gonna be out. I'm gonna be out with the boys, drinking it up, tossing up, having a good time, saying what, trying to get some butt. Speaking of trying to get some butt, I'm not gonna finish the statement, but I'm not staying home tonight. I'm at least gonna make a quick pass through Sharkies, see if somebody's over there. Pearl. Like, this evening is gonna be full of excitement. Like, how excited are you guys for football? And I know a lot of you guys too, right? For 7 months, for the majority of 7 months, you've kind of been in the house, right? You haven't had that excuse to get out every single week, to go meet up with the boys every single week, to go catch up, shoot the shit, not just talk football and talk shit, but actually talk some life, catch up and see what the fuck was going on in each other's lives. Talk shit because those same people, you're all in a fantasy football league together. You got matchups. I see you, Johnny. Don't worry, I'm coming for that ass. Pause. This is not just the first week of fall. Yeah, someone's officially over. I think I'm going to the beach tomorrow just to go check out the scenario. Not just the first week of fall. It's the beginning of the football season, official. Not preseason, not anything else. It's the official start of the football season. And
Hey, ladies!
you did it to yourself. You did it to yourself, ladies. The WNBA Finals begins this weekend. Not on Saturday. On Sunday. 3 p.m. Right when all those 1 o'clock games are getting to that hour where you don't want to turn away, because it's a time where wins turns to losses and losses turns to wins. They're airing right then and there, and they're gonna run through the first half of the evening games when you're kind of watching to kind of see how things are going on real quick, trying to determine if you're gonna continue watching which one of these games you're gonna have yourself focused on. WNBA, you set yourself. This, I don't know what your normal ratings are, but you may be setting yourself up to have one of the lowest rated opening games for WNBA finals ever. And I love you guys. I'm going to try to find a way to watch. I'm going to put it on in the back. I'm going to sacrifice the TV. Like, normally I got both of them on football. I'm going to sacrifice the TV because my Jets would have played already. Ooh, it's going to be, you better hope the Jets are either getting their ass with the being or blown. Ooh. Man, Asha won't even be here. I just said that. Sorry, but I'll rewatch it when I get. If I come home for the afternoon games, it'll be the first thing I put on. I promise you. But you set yourself up. You can't complain about viewership and engagement when you have what should be your biggest night in sports happening on the biggest sport in sports, one of their biggest nights, biggest days in sport. Like, you understand? It's like, you basically, I'm gonna tell you exactly what it is. It's like the unpopular kid in school throwing a party on the same day as the popular kid in school, and then wondering why you had such a bad turnout. Maybe everybody would have came if you did it on another day. Maybe some of these people that are normally, going to the cool kids party would have stopped by and blessed your shit to be like, this shit kind of whack, but my motherfucker got alcohol. Oh shit. You're a nerd, but you got some titties under there. Who knew you was hiding with this sweater? Hidden gems is what I'm talking about. But no, it's gonna be rough. Even me as a fan, I'm thinking to myself, how am I gonna get a chance to watch this game? I'm gonna end up rewatching it. So their first game was on Sunday the 11th. The next game was on Tuesday. So it's every 2 days basically, basically every 2 days. We're gonna have one on Sunday, another one on Tuesday, another one on Thursday, then I'm back in on Sunday, and then what may be the last game of their season if it goes all 5 games. Last game is on Tuesday. But that's 1, 2, 3 of your games on the same night as football. Couldn't do any better. I didn't say you didn't want to go up against Monday Night Football, but I don't know. You guys bother me. At least go Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. Why y'all keep trying to fight them on Sunday? I definitely do want to go to the beach tomorrow night. I really think I like my homegirl Natalie ain't listening, but I'm coming over this. Damn, I can't. Damn. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna come and surprise. You know what? Damn it! Oh my God, is Green Bay playing Minnesota? I should go surprise Natalie Saturday then. Of course, I should find out where she's gonna watch where she's gonna be watching football on Sunday and come surprise her there. I may do that. We'll see. Listen, I may just have to put her in the whole text message. Be like, hey, yo, like put her in there, KJ in there, Darnell in there, Lewis, Johnny. We'll see. Yeah, all of them. All right, folks. You know what time it is. We're coming out to the end of the podcast. We actually wrapping up the podcast, folks. Well, thank you for listening. Before Connecticut Suns, Las Vegas Aces, NBA Finals. That's coming. We have that coming up. Now, who do I want to win? If you know me, I think you guys know the answer to this. If you know me, that is. So, folks, we're going to leave you there. Thank you for listening to the podcast. Don't forget to like and share. Don't forget to subscribe anywhere that you listen to a podcast at. Even a lot of places where you listen to music at. Go ahead and type in MyT Sports Podcast and you'll find it. Go ahead and subscribe. I appreciate you. I appreciate everybody that called in today. Appreciate everybody that has joined us this whole entire week. You guys have a fun and safe weekend. Hope you enjoy your football Sundays. I hope you guys win your fantasy football leagues. And also remember that it's a different world where you come from.